Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Big Mark here with my friend Kevin Coleman. How you doing? Nice to see you again. Um, this episode, we're going to talk about some things. I'm going to remind you that's special. I'm telling you, and I'm going to stick it in your heads every episode, Kevin, right? We're doing something you never seen before. We're going to do something, and we want you to be a part of it. I'm telling you, everybody, as many people as we can get, you're going to be part of this, and we're gonna let the world see the truth. And I think it's something you're gonna appreciate being part of because we're gonna have the new Bergen Hunt Fish Club. I'm gonna make you a part of it one day. But talking with Kevin, we talk a lot. Sometimes we talk too much, right, Kev?
Hmm.
My wife and his girl think we're probably married to each other, but that's a different story.
Yeah, she does say it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but when you're around each other for a long time, a lot of things. Even if listen, I'll tell you what a friendship is. This years I didn't see him 5, 10 years. We're still friends because you know who the other person is. That's it. You never let anything get in the way of friendship. There's guys. I'm not going to mention a name. To them, there is no such thing as friendship. Oh, I love you. You're my friend. And then 3 months later, they backstabbed them. They robbed them. They kicked them out. I got a fleet of them. But you know what? Screw it. They don't deserve to be mentioned here. But I want to let you know we know. But friends, always there. I mean, you know what the test of a friend is? A friend is not there for you when you don't need him. A friend's there when you need him. That's the truth of a friend. So this concept about these people, I knew this guy, I hung around there. I promise you, you're going to know every detail in the Bergen Hunt Fish Club, who came there, who hung around there, every story, and all the lies and frauds are going to get tossed in the street. Now, I'm only picking guys who I'm definitely going for guys that lie about a person. Not lie, or talk derogatory about somebody there. That's who I'm going to talk. But this is not now, not ever. You'll see it down the road. But they'll come out. The stories will come out, and we'll talk about it. Kevin. You know why? Kevin's here. Kevin's a little older than me, right? Kevin, you're older than me.
take it easy now.
So but now Kevin. My life was focused from the teen. I told you that story by going to the Bergen one bar. Kevin lived in Ozone Park too, but Kevin was around a lot of other nice guys, and so all them other nice guys he was around intermingle in the same thing, knew John. So I think the connection, you told me, the connection was easy to go back and forth, right?
Yeah, because we all knew each other.
Yeah. So it wasn't like, don't talk to them. Don't do that. It wasn't not what you think it is, most of these guys came from different areas, and I'm not going to have these conversations about what they did for a living, how they made their money. You don't need me to do it. A lot of them went to jail. A lot of them died. The media and law enforcement arrested them for something. You don't need me to repeat that. I respect them too much to repeat that. I'm not that guy. I want to only tell you about that person. But I need you to subscribe. Definitely help us. These things aren't cheap. We do this out of our own pocket. You know what I mean? And the thing about doing this out of our own pocket is we do it because we have to tell the story. I had to tell the story. So if one day Kevin can't make it, he's always here in spirit because I hear him in the back of my ear when he talks to me. But
you were just saying about how everybody mingles. You take weddings together. I don't care where you are. Weddings, everybody there. Funerals,
same thing. Well,
same thing.
But isn't it the right thing with your family? Some of your cousins, your aunts and uncles, when do you see them? Weddings and funerals. It ain't the different. Trust me. It ain't. It was the same. I go to a wedding. Remember, listen, Joe Messina's daughter got married. That's a different, different bunch of guys. We had a couple tables. You know what I mean? Angel's daughter got married. We wore tuxes. I can tell you who was at the wedding. You want me to tell you? Should I tell him the secret who's at the wedding? Besides, he was there, but you want to tell me who's two special people at this wedding? You ready to hear about it? I'm going to tell him who's at the wedding. Who sat down at the same table? Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci were there. Joe Pesci even got up and played the guitar with the band. They went there. So, listen, if they went there for exploring a part, trust me not. Joe was around, the guy in the Bronx. There was a friend of his who knew John. They weren't there for any reason not only pay respects, they went there, they got invited, they went. So these are, listen, I'm a fan of Joe Pesci, always was, you know what I mean? So these weddings, you had these guys from there, this guy from this neighborhood, this guy from this neighborhood, and they hung out and talked to each other like it was nothing. So was there competition in how to earn money? Without a doubt. I mean, come on. You could you go from IBM to Microsoft to all these other guys. There's competition to make money. They could go to the same conference together, shake hands, how you doing, have a drink, but he's trying to take customers away from the other guy. There's no difference in this layout. So you could sit there with a guy from another family. Hey, how you doing? Have a drink. How's it going? You say, yeah, that guy got that bookmaking operation. I think I get a piece of his customers.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe if I get a piece of his customers. Or why you don't think guys like I'm using two companies, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They meet at, whatever, competing companies. They're at a business meeting or conference. Hey, how you doing? How's things? Hey, how's work? How's the family? She said, guy, you just nailed that count over there. Huh? I was trying for that account. There's still that.
Everything. It's just like CVS. You look at a CVS store, right across the street's Walgreens.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a Dunkin' Donut. What do you see across the Starbucks?
So
Same thing.
So these guys, this all was, gentlemen. Listen, they competed, a lot of guys, and the guys who hated each other or had no, it was all ego. A lot of it was ego. A lot of these guys, I'm sorry, these so-called tough guys, it's easy to say you're a tough guy. You know what a tough guy is? A tough guy's quiet. A tough guy tiptoes, walks, and a tough guy's friendly and genuine. Not anybody can walk around the street and abuse guys. Listen, I seen by the club. You were there by the club. Well, you came by and visited by the club. John, Angelo, Gene, Pete, people in the street or people I ran into in the stores. How you doing? How's it? Friendly. I seen so-called executives in that life. Surly, didn't talk to nobody, always had a scowl on their face. What are you doing here? I'm telling you fans firsthand. There was a lot of laughter in the club. There was some yelling. Hey, we're Italian. Italians like to yell. The hands raising. We're yelling about anything. If a horse lost, you screwed up this, or the food tastes like crap. Food. That's the key feature here. You're talking about Italians and street guys. Food. Everywhere. Anytime. No matter what it is. I could tell you a story about White Castle. Johnny would send in the middle of the night, go to White Castle, $300 worth of White Castle. Or Johnny would say, Chinese food. You didn't go you went to Ho-Wan's. Ho-Wan's there 45 years. They just closed. They were on Liberty Avenue on 111th Street. They were there for 40 years. They just closed. Go there, order food. You came back with shopping bags of food. And I'm telling you, if nobody wanted it, nobody wanted to take it home and went to garbage. But they ate like it was the last meal. You know why? I know why now. Because growing up, they never had this food.
Yeah.
How many stories you heard? I mean, John told me stories. They're lucky they had meat once a year, once a month. Cereal, bread. So now I understand the concept, the psychological concept of the food, of the dress, holes in your shoes. So no matter what they did for a living, what they achieved, you have to respect them. They took a risk. Let's be honest. 90% of these guys die in prison. Not many. Listen, you were talking about they kill each other. It ain't that much. Then you guys, the press could tell you, they killed thousands of men. They killed, no. First of all, if you deserved to die for something you did wrong or break an oath is the most important thing. We'll talk about them oath breakers. Without mentioning names, there's a lot of them. There's no reason for it. There is no reason for it. There's, so I want you to know that we're coming from the heart here. Total respect. Respect lots of friends from different areas, right? Different guys from Manhattan we know. Ever see them? As a family, how you doing? Jersey. I respect them because they just kept their journey, their walk. It has no effect on my life. I went to work. He went to work. He worked to work, broke your ass for years. I went to work. I took jobs in some of the retail outlets. I started my own business, whatever it was to pay a bill. That's it. Because I knew the guys we around were gone. And we felt that connection. So think about it. When they were gone, we filtered away because the next guy, you don't know who. Man, that story I told you about the seed. You don't know what a seed is, so you don't know how he's going to treat us.
Hmm.
Hey, Kev, remember the story about you said in the after hours, when they raided the after hours, they broke up a poker machine. Who they arrest?
The barmaid.
The barmaid. Why'd they arrest the barmaid?
Well,
They
they had her because we were in the back, and turn around. I was so pissed because that Joker poker machines were full with money. The guy was supposed to take that, but they took her, and I said to him, I said, "Listen, I'll take the pinch." They didn't want to do the paperwork on me.
Yeah, though it's back then, right? How many
Yep.
fucking times you get arrested? Oh, excuse my too much. How many times you get arrested or in a problem? You just went home that night.
Yeah. Well, it was just a disappearance,
Yeah.
and that was it.
So it was that life bred that on the streets in the 70s, and even back before that. And I know that, but so imagine this kind of minimal power we had, right? Nightclubs, restaurants, anywhere. You went to talk to a place of business. The guy knew you, a lumberyard.
Yep.
Hey, Kev, how you doing? Yeah, I need some wood. I'll give you 10% off. It wasn't I don't think it was out of fear too, but it was out of respect too. That was the way the mechanism worked.
Well, the guy down the block, he used to come and bet races and stuff. So that's why we used to get the discount from the lumberyard.
Yeah, so there you go. So see,
Everybody worked.
everybody, I missed up time. You remember like Ozone Park, you had on Liberty Avenue, you had Liberty Bakery, you had the deli across the street, you had the candy store over there, you had another store over here, and they all spent money with each other. A guy went to the grocery store for food, guy went to the bakery for bread, they moved, the money turned in a
was local.
circle back then. Now you go, nobody goes there, nobody goes, the money takes it, they take it, they leave with it. They lost that function, that flow, they kept the neighborhood tight. That's why you go to some neighborhoods now, all the empty stores, right, Kevin?
Completely empty.
But there's this. See what he just said about the Joker poker machine. But I got to tell you, we'll go back to your favorite friend, Fat Bob, Boston Bob. Now we had run-ins with Boston Bob. Boston Bob was a homeless guy, bigger than me, big hands, always dressed. But he was a
Shakedown Bob.
conniver. How much of a conniver was he?
Shakedown Bob. I gave him the
Shakedown
nickname.
Bob. Bob would shake down an old lady in a florist. Really, right? Yeah, for $20. Really, I mean, it was kind of sad, but he was really good at it. So I got to talk about a friend, Kinnigs, right? Respect the guy. He did a long time in prison. He's home. I hope he enjoys his life, his family. Totally respect the guy. But I got to tell you a funny story. There was a restaurant in Howard Beach called Danny Szechuan. He made it to a big place, a catering hall.
Danny.
So every Friday, John would go, Kinnigs would go there with his family to eat food. It was an upscale. He made it to an upscale Chinese restaurant. If you guys didn't know it, it's not there anymore. It's a smaller version. But so for some reason, we didn't know that. Kinnigs didn't come by the club a lot, So, but when he did come by, he's making a stunt. We're joking around, talking. And he says, this is this Fat Bob. The guy comes every Friday with his family to Danny's because he knows you're there. He knows I'm there, or Pete's there with his family. Somebody's going to pick up his tab. What kind of racket is this guy? And it's kind of funny that he only goes on Friday and he comes to Danny. I told him, this is the only restaurant you eat in? He says, because he knows we're going to pick up his tab. And of course we're going to pick it up. But that's Bob. That's how he thinks. Kick used to say about Angelo, right? He says, any payphone, you pick up any phone in the neighborhood, Angelo's on the other line. We laughed hysterical. I mean, the way he said it, the quiff, it was just funny. You know what I mean? And these were friends. They were loyal to each other, right? They'd do anything for each other. But you didn't see, he learned that. He around guys that they screwed around each other.
That's it. We still do.
He had a friend. I met the guy later on in life in the late 80s, right? Unassuming gentleman from Ozone Park. I'll lead you in with this one because he deserves it. He's a nice man. He loved Johnny. Another guy, a legitimate guy, businessman, construction guy, but loved Johnny. But in the neighborhood, there's Sal. Sally was a sweetheart. So I met him. I used to meet with you for breakfast at the time in Long Island. Just the nicest guy in the world. So he loved John. Kevin was close with Sal. Kevin's going to tell you about this guy Sal and how he thought about John and how he helped Kevin out too.
Oh, he loved John. Every time he says, "I'm gonna go," he had that old suburban truck. He used to come by me too on Utica Avenue with a club.
Where was his place? 103rd, right?
He had a welding shop, 103rd Avenue
And
and
88th
88th Street, and then the other one, the main one, was out Long Island, Babylon. But he was a funny, funny guy. Okay, we're in a diner one time, and he's always running to take the check, you know. So he takes the check. He looks at it. He says to the waitress there, "It's not right." She's looking over, looking over, looking over. He says, "Your phone number's not there." Now here's a guy that is loyal to his wife. Okay. Somebody else was with me one time. He said, "Let's go out." He said, "No, I'm going home to my bride." The guy was and you know something. What you're saying? John loved him. He loved John. Okay. I come along, I said, "Listen, I need to do something. I just got rid of one of my businesses and stuff. It wasn't doing good. You know, I got to say it, the government really screwed me up." So I said, "I got to do something." So he got me into a union. And I'm fortunate for that today from that man. When his wife passed, I took him. You talk about friends. That's what my loyalty is to my friends. Okay, I don't care what people say. Sally used to come to my house 9 o'clock in the morning. "Hey, where are we going today?" He used to tease the heck out of my daughter, but turn around and we would stay out all day long just to keep him going because he was grieving still over his wife. But how many guys he put to work?
Oh, listen.
How many guys?
Funny thing, see what he says? Sally had a few dollars. He wasn't
Yes,
hurting for money.
he was good.
Successful man. But if you saw him with his dirt jeans and a t-shirt
You
or
would never know.
flannel shirt, you would never notice. But very down-to-earth guy. And he praised John. When I see him on Long Island with you guys, he says, "How's John?" You know, he says, "What a man." He says, "Me," so I love the guy. Whatever I could do for him. I says, "Sal." He says, "Really?" So yeah. He says, "You know why, Mark? When he sees me, he treats me like I'm his best friend." I mean, I don't know the guy. Don't you understand what that means to a guy when a guy of that stature comes to me and puts his arm around me? "Hey, Sally, what's going on?" Big smile on his face. That's another gift that John and Gene or Angela had with guys who they were close to. It was funny, you know, but the John especially. I mean, this all came. Sally come by the Bergen, talk to John. John didn't say, "Come back in an hour." Who's there?
Yeah.
Sally, come on in.
Come
He
on
said,
in.
yeah, but that's so that reflects on other people. Sally was a legitimate working guy, a welding shop, hard working man, you know. But that's what we're trying to say when he talks about guys like this. You know, he was closer to Sally than me, but even my 2 dozen interactions with him outside from the club, I used to laugh. I still realize I love this guy's a sweetheart. I could see why John liked him. You know what I mean? And you know, and that's why this story's told out of the Bergen, Kevin, because we're going to put all these people that came there to see John or Angelo or Pete or Jeannie or Jack. It doesn't matter who they went to see. Anybody there. They went to see them just to hang out there. They just felt this connection because they respected them. And that's why I respect them, you know, especially them guys, you know, that spent a lot of years in prison. They did their time. They pay for it. Whatever they did, they pay for it. I wish them happiness and a long life with their family and their grandchildren. They deserve it. And they get the ultimate respect from me. And, you know, you're going to hear funny stories. That's all they deserve to be told about by them guys, is how true, funny, and regular they were. And that's my ode to them. This story is my ode to them, who I thought, you know, well, my friends. I lived that life with them for a lot of years, and you know, and they deserve that ode. The root that part. Yeah, Kevin. How many? Let me say, if you had to put in a figure without saying a word, how many people who joined WITSEC or RATS that you came into contact with in the last 30 years before they flipped?
Uh, Probably about 20.
20. 20. Now, them 20, let's say each individual one turned on 4 guys. That's 80 men. But them 20 were creeps. They think doing that, some affliction with God or this, or listen to me. They were creeps to begin with. They never they were creeps to start with. Them guys, if they took that oath, I'm telling you, I'm going about guys. I don't want to know about associates and them guys. Forget about it. I want guys who took that oath. That's the ones who broke the code. You people out there, you have a code with your wife, with your children. That's a code. You have a child. You want to raise him. You give him an oath. I'm going to protect you, teach you, and take care of you till you're old enough to fend for yourself. That's your oath. You break that oath, you deserve what comes to you. I think they all have a connection as an oath, whatever it is. If you're, I like when they say the person puts a hand on a Bible running for Congress. God to protect and serve the United States of America and talk bad about the United States. What is that?
I heard just the other day they don't even use the Bible no more.
Oh, now
in
they
the
use
court.
different. They use different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at, they make an
No,
oath to protect and serve the Constitution.
You're right.
They don't. So this is the same thing. People who have these oaths, when they fail it, it's up to you people to judge them for that and judge them for that harshly, because you made oaths in your life, and if you kept to them, I honor you and respect you. This is where the secret behind the red door came out of, about my respect for these people and about a time that we'll never see again. I need you to subscribe to this show. Kevin will be back. We'll do some more tape-ins. The special's going to be huge, I promise you. Subscribe to the show. I have a Patreon channel. If it helps us pay the bills. Listen, we ain't getting rich here. It's a story, a passion project. I want you to be part of it.
Cash in on some of the food that we ate all our life.
Well, you know what I mean. I gotta go. Either take me to lunch now, but we got to eat salads because we're too old now and we got too fat, so we got to eat light. But this is what I want you to know about the secret behind the red doors. You're gonna see it in places. It's gonna become something. You're gonna be amazed by it. But I want all you people out there in the world to be part of this show. Kevin knows. Kevin's excited about it because I know he wants to talk to a couple thousand people too. You know what I mean? We all want to talk to a couple 100,000 people because we admire certain people in our life and they had an impact on this world, on this city, and we want to share it with you the right way. Right, Kev?
That's it.
Anything to say before you sign off?
Well, to my friends out there, like Mark said, subscribe. We need you.
And we'll be back.
It's all good things.
All good things. We'll be back. Happy Mother's Day. Respect your mother. Oh, the last story of the mothers. You got time for me? Last story. I went to John's daughter's wedding, and great wedding. There had to be 1,000 people there at the Marina Del Rey. Great wedding, and everybody was there. A lot of people.
My car was a flower car.
So in that wedding, there was entertainers. And
yes,
I remember one incident. I'm not talking about the wedding. That's not my wedding to talk about this incident. So who shows up at the wedding to sing? Connie Francis. Now, if you know Connie Francis, been around, great voice. Connie Francis. So she sings a song, and then she grabs Johnny's mother, God rest her soul, and puts her in a chair and goes to sing to her and sings to her mama in Italian. Now, I got to stand something now. We went all the regulars were in a side room, and we come out to surround. The tables were all filled with people from all over the country, right? Pay respects to John. And she's singing Mom in Italian to John's mother. Me, being the observant guy I am, start looking around the room at all these tough guys in tuxedos. And as she's singing Mom in Italian, I never saw so many guys with tears coming down their eyes to show their affection for their mothers. A mother has a great power over their boys somehow, some way. I don't care if you're Jewish, Italian, or Irish, if she was a good mom, if she loved them. So I saw a lot of tough guys with tears in their eyes over this song. And it stuck with me for all these years. Connie Francis singing to John's mom, at Vicky's wedding, Victoria's wedding. And I just noticed, lowball, I'd say 50, 100 guys wiping away tears. Think about that. Think about it on this Mother's Day. You respect that woman who, if she nurtured you and took care of you. If she didn't, well, do what you have to do.
Remember, one mother.
That's it. You could have 10 fathers, only one mother.
One mother.
So I wish you the best. I'll see you soon. Subscribe. God bless you. And we'll talk soon, pals. Take care.